South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Friday. We welcome you to the show, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital. And, of course, over the South Point Studio streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show on this Friday. And, of course, all of you listening here in town, maybe running around town early this morning. We're in the 80s. It's a beautiful morning out here. And all I could say is if you're listening to us via radio, it's on our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM 107.1 FM. And, of course, all of our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, iPhone, Android, Google phone, covered with the apps, KSHP app, listening through the radio station, YouTube app, see and listen to us through the YouTube app as well, and anywhere you get your podcasting. We welcome you to the show on this Friday here in Las Vegas. So the weather is nice here, that's for sure. And today we're going to get up to 106 degrees, though. It's teetering on a heat warning. It's hot. And so all I can tell you as you maybe make your way to Las Vegas for the weekend to enjoy us, or if you're here in town, just stay hydrated. Keep that water bottle with you all the time. Stay hydrated. Don't let the pets and the kids stay out all day outside. It's too hot for that. And, of course, check on all of the elderly people and people who have a hard time with the heat, because it's going to be hot today here at 106 here in Las Vegas. Ain't going to be as hot as Phoenix, Arizona, which is the hottest spot in the nation today at 112 degrees. That's why they don't run racing. They don't run races at Turf Paradise in the summertime in Phoenix, Arizona. 112, that's the highest temperature around the country. From the Midwest on to the East Coast, there's nothing but a mess going on as far as the weather is concerned. In New York City, New Jersey, Delaware, just got drenched, got pummeled with rain yesterday. And there's still some rain left in the Washington area. It's going to be 73 degrees today. New York, 77, still cloudy. Now, you get that type of temperature with all of that moisture, and you got just a mess going on the East Coast right now. And in the Southeast, it's more of a excessive heat deal going on there. So from the Midwest to the South, to the East, North and South, there's something going on weather-wise that may hinder some degree of racing going on around the country. So keep that in mind when we're going through the menu. It's going to be 90 degrees in Miami with rain. 92 in Tampa with rain, and Chicago will have 75 degrees, and it will be partly cloudy, but mostly sunny in Chicago. So everything is moving east from there. And, of course, in the West Coast at Los Angeles and the San Diego area, 85 degrees. It's going to be a nice day out there as well. That's as far as the temperatures are concerned. And as I said, as far as the precipitation is concerned, that stuff has just made it a mess going in the Northeast. It's finally making itself off course, but it left a lot of damage, a lot of flooding going on in places like New York City and New Jersey. Okay, anyhow, that's the weather as we speak right now. I will tell you this. Jonathan Hardoon sacrificed getting his head wet this morning by sticking his head out the window and said, "It's a beautiful day in Saratoga." It's a gorgeous. He says, "Great today at Saratoga," which means they will not be coming off the turf course today at Saratoga. They will stay on the turf today at Saratoga. So how about that? All righty. Want to just make one mention here. You know, when you're watching these races, as we are, most of the people satellite either by on their phones, making their bets on their phone accounts, or watching it on cable TV or your internet streaming. We have the two major networks right now, the Fox Broadcasting, Fox Sports broadcasts exclusively all the New York stuff. And, of course, FanDuel handles everything else. And so, from the early days of their broadcasting to today, I got to tell you, I watched some of the feeds yesterday at home doing a lot of paperwork. And all I can tell you was the broadcasts were really good. They were really good broadcasts from these broadcasters. They have really upped their game with feature pieces, etc. One of the feature pieces was on the New York feed, where Lafitte Pinkai III, which is one of their broadcasters, had as special guests on his show his father, Lafitte Pinkai Jr., and Angel Cordero. And when they teased and said we're going to have them on set doing an interview, I stopped everything, sat down and watched it. It was one of the greatest interviews I've ever seen. I got to tell you, it was 5-star. And not because a son was interviewing his father, but the fact that it was Lafitte Pinkai Jr. and Angel Cordero. And if you are in my generation and my age, you remember these two guys doing really, really tricky stuff on a racetrack against each other. And they highlighted some of those races that you and I might remember if you're, on my generation. One of them, of course, was the Travers Stakes, where Angel Cordero laid a trap for Pinkai on affirmed and got disqualified in the Travers. They went over that, etc. It was just good TV. And all I can tell you is there was no animosity between these two guys. It was just a great interview, that's for sure. So I just wanted to make a comment. Both the Fox Sports guys, the sports, and that entire crew over there at Fox, they do a great job. The gals do a great job in the paddock as well. That's a grade A broadcasting there. And FanDuel has really up their game as well. So for those of you who keep putting on the mute button from the old days of watching those broadcasts, keep the mute button off because they're really doing a great job. I just wanted to make mention of that. All right, Vincent Chaminade and Mirko De Muro got suspension days for their stuff with Heisa. Chaminade, by the way, is riding right now at Colonial Downs, so he's got a suspension, a 3-day one, so he'll serve that suspension Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Mirko De Muro, remember, that's the Italian who was riding in Japan for a long time, came to Southern California to ride at Del Mar, and one of his first rides at Del Mar on, I think, either the first or second day of the racing meet, he won a race. Well, that's the only race he's won, but he hasn't had many chances. Well, he got a 1-day suspension. He'll serve that on the 7th day of this very new month of August. It's August 1st today, folks. So he'll serve it next week on the 7th. A roundtable, that horse racing roundtable that they had at Saratoga that featured the influencer and all of the other stuff. They went over a lot of different subjects. One of the big subjects was they need to beef up more in the breeding shed because you can't have full races and full fields of races without the horses, okay? And so they need to, they understand that problem. They also went into social media, how they're going to try to get into social media more, etc. They did a lot of things, a lot of the things that they have rehashed over the years and have done these studies that they're doing. But at least it looks as if they're trying. And the subject of the CAW came up. And that was an interesting take as far as the roundtable was concerned. They know they have a problem with perception from the public. No kidding. And from the payoffs that affect us bettors. No kidding. And they're trying little by little to see how they can tweak it so everybody's happy. We experienced that yesterday at Del Mar. Remember that Del Mar came out far from the panel, far from the roundtable at Saratoga. This was at Del Mar. They came out and they said they're not going to let these guys do any more into the win, place, or show pools from 2 minutes on in. Okay? Now, what they're doing is they're starting to invade the exotic prices. And yesterday, I think Steve Anderson of the Daily Racing Forum was charting it yesterday. And I know Jonathan Hardoon was as well. And we're going to get into that when I get Jonathan with us. But it seems like that invasion that we've seen with the odds board for the win bets is starting to filter its way into the exotics. And oh my, golly gee, who said that yesterday? Ooh, wow, it was Jonathan to me saying if the money ain't going there, it's going to go someplace else. That's what's happening. We'll wait and see about that. I'll talk to Jonathan about that after the break. Here's what happened Saratoga yesterday. Ricardo Santana won his first race of the day in the first race with Amelia Green paying $10 even. And then Santana came back for his second win of the day in the third race for Michelle Nevin. That was Michelle Nevin's first win of the day, paying $19.20. Jonathan Ardoon gave us a winner in the fourth race. He liked Sail Away, and Sail Away did the job. Sail Away got the job done for Jose Ortiz and Tony Dutrow, paying $6.90, bet down from 4-1. Thank you very much, Jonathan. The sixth race was for 2-year-old maidens. You might want to take a look at this race. Grazi was the winner there. Grazi is owned by Mr. Mike Rapoli, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden by Luis Saez, paying $7.60. And all I can say is that Grazi looked real good in winning that 2-year-old race, that maiden race yesterday in the sixth. The track was muddy. It was in muddy conditions yesterday, and for the first part of the card, it looked like all you had to do was get to the front and just keep going in the mud. Changed a little bit towards the end of the day. In the seventh race, Ricardo Santana got his third win of the day with Ed Barker paying $15.20. Linda Rice got her win on the day with Dylan Davis in the eighth race paying $5.40. The John Morrissey, which was run again over a muddy racetrack, Doc Sullivan under a very aggressive ride by Joel Rosario, ran down the pace setter, the wine steward, in the shadow of the wire. Doc Sullivan got up. He was part of the first flight, but he was about a length, maybe a length and a half at the most during the running of the race, but he never was worse than third, and he finally wore down the wine steward to get the win. Doc Sullivan for John Ortiz and Joel Rosario paid $12.60. The wine steward held on for second, and Lightman was third. And in the final race, Manny Franco gave Michelle Nevin her second win of the day, paying $14.80. The pick six paid $14,225.50 on a day when the track was muddy at Saratoga. Well, we all know what happened with the big 8.7 earthquake in Russia. And the entire Hawaii and the entire West Coast was waiting for a huge tsunami. Well, Northern California got a small tsunami there. But in Southern California at Del Mar, it was a tsunami of long shots that hit the wires yesterday at Del Mar. The first race was the only winning favorite of the day. First race, Armando Ayuso got his first win of the day for Brian Corner, paying $5.80, and then Katie barred the door from there. Second race, Peter Miller got a win and paid $18 even. Third race, Antonio Fresu got his first win of the day for Daniel Ascaret, paying $21.60. That third race was a race that they were charting the exacta payoffs. The exacta, when they were charting the exacta, the probable of the exacta of 1 and 3 in that second race was sitting at $151. When the race came 1-3, the exacta payoff was $67. We move on. Fourth race, Vladimir Serin and Antonio Fresu. Fresu gets his second win, 2 in a row for Fresu, paying $14.60. And the fifth race, Armando Ayuso got his second win of the day for Peter Urton, paying $21.80. You heard those prices. Pick 4 paid over $4,000. The pick 5 paid $15,377.30. And we weren't done yet. Sixth race, the winner paid $31.80. Seventh race, the longest shot on the board, won in a blanket finish at the end, Baltic Fire with Serafin Karamona for Simon Callahan, paid $116.40 for the $2 win bet. That in the seventh race yesterday. The eighth and final race tapped it off with a $24 winner. The pick 4, the late pick 4 at Del Mar yesterday for 50 cents, paid $114,033.65. And there was one winner in the late pick 5 to the only horse in the race that won the race. Only one horse would have given the Allburger, and that horse won, and it wasn't a photo finish either. An easy winner by Harbor Code gave that one ticket winner the pick 5, got it all, $476,322. Oh, by the way, and a nickel. Pick 6 wasn't hit. Well, guess what? They didn't even have 5. 4 out of 6 yesterday paid $1,370.80 for the tsunami of long shots at Del Mar yesterday. Wow. Delaware Park, Rich Eng gave us a horse in the 7th race and never got there. They canceled the races after the 5th race yesterday at Delaware Park because of the weather. And so it goes. What a day yesterday was at Del Mar. Wow. All right, we got a lot to cover today. We got Jonathan Ardoon standing by, Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J. And, of course, a thought or two about the CAW and what's going on with that as well. Plus your racing menu. So don't go away. We're just getting started. We'll be right back on this Friday Race Day show as they continue to work out around the country in the morning hours. And don't forget to start chatting on the chat box. It's going to be interesting today, no doubt about it. Get to the YouTube Race Day page. Subscribe if you haven't. It's free, and then you can jump in and start chatting. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Here's your Friday racing menu for today. Remember, the first post times we broadcast on this menu air each and every day. Reflect that at the Pacific time zone. That's where we're at here. These will be the first post times that roll out in our race book here at South Point today. If you're in another time zone around the world, just tweak from the Pacific time zone to whatever one you're at. Get it right, and then you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. First post times Pacific. Okay, here we go. We begin with Delaware Park. Remember, they canceled after the 5th race yesterday at Delaware Park because of the weather. Right now, they're scheduled to go. So their first post time at Delaware Park is set at 9:30 for their 8-race card. 8 races today at Delaware Park. All right, next comes Belterra Park. Belterra Park has 8 races, and their first post time is at 9:35. 9:35 at Belterra Park. Following that comes Ellis Park. Ellis Park has 10 races today. Good full fields at Ellis Park, too. Their first post time at Ellis Park. They've got a pick 5, a regular pick 5 jackpot there at Ellis Park. $42,972. Regular pick 5. They also have a pick 6 jackpot carryover. That's $78,793. So 2 nice carryovers at Ellis Park today. First post time is at 9:50 for their 10-race card. Gulfstream Park has 9 races today. Gulfstream Park's Pick 6 Rainbow Jackpot carryover, $84,473. They'll do a mandatory payoff on that Pick 6 at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. Today, the carryover again, $84,473. First post time at Gulfstream for 9 races set at 9:50. Woodbine, north of the border. Woodbine has a first post time at 10:05 for their 9-race card. Woodbine has a carryover in their Pick 6 jackpot of $32,000 even. And they have their Super High 5 jackpot carryover at $51,081. Again, first post time at Woodbine, 9 races at 10:05. Then we go to Saratoga in upstate New York. They say the weather is beautiful today at Saratoga. They're staying on the turf as well. They've got 10 races. The feature race today is the Grade 2 $400,000 National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame Stakes at a mile on the inner turf course for 3-year-olds. A field of 9 before any scratches. I do believe the 9, McAfee, was scheduled to be a main track only, so he might be scratched. But in any case, 6-5 favorite there is Zulu Kingdom with Flavian Pratt aboard. That's the 7th race of 10 races today at Saratoga. First post time is at 10:10 at Saratoga. Monmouth Park has 8 races from the shores of New Jersey. Monmouth Park's first post time is set at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. at Monmouth Park today. Colonial Downs has 8 races, 6 turf races and 2 main track races of the 8. Colonial Downs first post time with a regular pick 6 carryover of $4,697 is set at 1 p.m., 1 o'clock at Colonial. Penn National has 8 races. Penn National has a Super High 5 jackpot carryover of $6,577. First post time 2:45 for their 8-race card. Evangeline Downs has 9 races, a couple of stakes races too. The Louisiana Stallion for 3-year-old fillies goes as the 6th, and the Doc Sunshine Young Futurity goes as the 8th. 9 races overall today at Evangeline Downs and a first post time of 3:30. Charlestown, their first post time at Charlestown for 8 races, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. at Charlestown. Del Mar starts at 4 o'clock. There she is. Gotta love it. Tsunami Del Mar. In any case, Del Mar has 8 races. Their first post time is at 4 p.m. Their feature race today is the Real Good Deal. It's the 6th race on the card. For 3-year-olds, it's 7 furlongs. 8 go to the post before scratches. A good competitive race, too. The morning line favorite is 5-2. That's Speedy Wilson. Speedy Wilson with Armando Ayuso. 8 races today at Del Mar. First post time is at 4 p.m. And their carryover in their pick 6 is only $38,384. $38,384 in the pick 6 carryover today at Del Mar. First post time is at 4 p.m. Whew. Prairie Meadows has 10 races. 3 quarter-horse races will be the first 3. The last 7 will be thoroughbreds. Prairie Meadows still has those big carryovers going on there. Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $61,159. Their pick 5 jackpot carryover, largest in the nation, still there. The pick 5 jackpot carryover, $217,241. First post time at Prairie Meadows is also at 4 p.m. Emerald Downs wraps up the menu today. 7 races and 7 p.m. first post time at Emerald Downs. And that's your racing menu for today. Let's get out to Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan, standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I guess you shouldn't have said anything yesterday about CAW getting into the exotics now, because they probably are listening and saying, hey, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, right. Well, you guys said it yesterday. I think you said it with Jerry J or whoever. Why not shut everything off at 2 minutes? I mean, look, the 8th race yesterday, Ralph, I got a text from a terrific listener of ours named Jeff. 11-1 shot wins it, an 18-1 shot runs second, and the exacta for $1 was $72. That's half of what it should have been, at least half, maybe more. 11-1 over 18-1, and they're giving you $72. Something's up with that. Steve Anderson tweeted out another short-priced exacta that paid a lot less than it should have paid. And, so now everyone's not going to notice it because they're looking at win prices. However, if you dig in, you see what's going on. It's not a good situation, and it's only going to get worse.
Jonathan, Steve Anderson not only tweeted out that, but he gave the example because he was watching the probable payoffs. Like I said, in the 3rd race, probable payoffs for the exacta that did hit was sitting there at $151. When the payoff came later after the race, it paid $67. Same thing happened in the same.
It's going from 18-1 to 6-1 in the win pool.
Yes.
So they're doing it in exotic pools.
Correct. In the 4th race, the race after that, The winning combination was paying $34 in the probables just before the race when you're watching the pools. When it came in, it paid $14.20. So you're right. They're just shifting it into there, which is what we logically thought would happen.
Right. The only difference is that not as many people are noticing it unless you either hit the number or you're charting the exact probables.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to notice it. So obviously, not as many people are going to notice the drastic drops as if a horse goes from 18-1 to 6-1. But it's the same idea. They're doing it. They're not stopping, and they're piling on. So we got them to close the win pools at 2 minutes. Now let's close all the pools at 2 minutes. And by the way, one winning ticket in that pick 5. Why doesn't Del Mar tell us who hit it? Was it hit by CAW? I'd like to know.
Well, that was a little bit of what was going on the chat room today. They were wondering if the 14 horse was a CAW horse. Now, the 14 horse, we don't know. We do know that before the race, it was announced that that was the only horse that would be hit in the pick 5. Otherwise, you had a pick 5 carryover for today. That horse went out and battled with another horse for the lead, put him away, pulled away as if he was like 8-5. And he wins. Exactly. He wins the race and pays $24. So there's a lot of strange things that happen with that tide that goes in and out at Del Mar. That's for sure. But it's it's not typical Del Mar. But Del Mar is a place where you'll have a lot of turnaround of past performances of horses because of the atmosphere, etc. And it is a horse for course place as well. So you have to keep that in mind. And then you put in the other X factor of the ship and wins, people who are, getting horses, some Southern California trainers who are either sending horses out of town to qualify for ship and win and then coming back, or just going out of town and buying horses and bringing them ship and win for that bonus as well. So there's a lot of different variables that go on when we're talking about us gamblers, us players trying to handicap besides what's in the pages of the daily racing form.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. Let's be honest, Ralph. The results yesterday made very little sense to a lot of people, and obviously by the payoff, you could tell that. But it's interesting when there's one live horse and he wins like a 3-5 shot.
Yeah.
It's not like the guy holding the ticket was in doubt. Usually you're hoping. Anyway, he just looked like a winner most of the race, and good for that person. Hopefully it wasn't a CAW guy. Hopefully it was
hopefully it was just somebody who either
put some numbers together and hit it,
Yeah, either somebody with birthday numbers or whatever, or somebody that was a really sharp handicapper on one day in his life that made the difference. In any case, as you know, the people who chat on our chat box, and we're getting it more and more people there now, are really they're sharp people. They're guys and one asked a question yesterday. I didn't get to it because we were kind of jammed up, but one wanted to ask you this question. When we were talking about horses that were breaking through the starting gate the other day, James asked, he remembers that a couple of weeks ago, you had a horse in New York that broke through that broke through the starting gate. And so his question to you was, if they would allow the either trainer or the owner to scratch a horse after they break through the starting gate, would you have done it?
Well, the thing is, Ralph, it took so long to get that horse back into a race. Honestly, I probably would have run him just because it's so frustrating trying to get horses into races in New York. They don't write the right conditions for a lot of horses or whatever. It turns out, you and Jerry were talking about it yesterday, that they should be automatically scratched. And believe me, there's something to that, because you don't know the effect that it really has on a horse. When he breaks through the gate, he's pushing that gate open. So he's banging his head into the gate to begin with. Who knows the effect it really has on them? And he was right. Jerry was right when he pointed out that very few of those horses that break through a gate before the start win. So why not, go on the side of caution since they don't win for the most part, and just scratch those horses. It just protects the better. It protects everybody involved. The horse will get to come back another day. But again, we don't know the damage that really happens to a horse when he breaks through the gate. It could be nothing, but it could certainly be more than nothing. Yeah, the vet looks him over. What does he look? 30 seconds? Okay, but they don't know what's inside the horse's head and everything else that goes with it. So scratching those horses, not the worst idea in the world.
Well, I think what a universal just a rule that says scratch them if they break through the starting gate is more of a protection for the betting public, because a horse that has broken through the starting gate and goes back in the gate and wins the race is as often as we see Halley's Comet. Okay?
Maybe less.
So in that respect, just protect the betting public and the integrity of the game. Can't help that he broke through the starting gate, but those horses rarely win. And I'm talking about horses that are 50-1 and horses that are 4-5.
I agree.
Something just happens.
Well, again, because we don't know. You can't ask a horse, how do you feel? He's just going to go, okay. But,
well, not only that, but they were geared up and ready, and they jumped through and
fired up, and their adrenaline is pumped and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah, like Jerry said, it was, it's that the first lunge that really is a lot of pressure. Having, in another lifetime, galloped horses in my lifetime when I was a youngster, when you break out of the starting gate, the sensation for a jockey, and that's why they sometimes have, most of the time, have a hold of the mane, a little hold of the mane, and the reins are a little bit loose. And that's why they give you 4 or 5 strides out of the gate if you shift one way or another without disqualifying you, because you're just trying to gather up. But the sensation is you're sitting there, and when the gate opens, everything drops out underneath you. It just all of it drops out because the horse is lunging forward, and that's the sensation you have. It just drops out from under you. So in all of those particular situations, maybe it is just make it a rule, and for the people who said, well, I wanted my horse to run anyhow, well, then, you get, it's just a
run
bad...
for purse only.
Yeah.
You could run for purse only. That's all. Easy way out. This way the owner's protected. Let them run for purse only.
See?
The bettor's protected. There you go.
Within 5 minutes on the show, we throw out ideas there, and we debate back and forth, and you get an idea that works.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Run for purse only.
Maybe
again,
we should.
Ralph, when they push the gate open with that head, or then it's not easy to push that gate open. You ever see them close the gate from the outside? They push. It takes a lot of strength. So to bang that gate open, a horse is really banging his head right into the gate.
Yeah,
so.
No question about that. I think we've done our work there, and maybe Jonathan, you can have a round table, and we can solve all the other problems in horse racing. We'll just have a round table in the parking. We'll have a round table in the parking lot with the South Point hot dogs. How about that?
There you go.
All right, we're running along on time, so give me some horses. Off a nice winner yesterday. Nice winner yesterday.
Yes, second race at Saratoga today, a mile and 3/16, and they remain on the grass. Number 2, Money Supply is my selection here. Luis Saez for the Red Hot Joe Sharp. This horse goes back on Lasix today. He's really in good form now. 9-2 on the morning line. I like number 2, Money Supply, to win today's second out at Saratoga.
And we need it, the Money Supply. So in the second race, number 2, Money Supply at Saratoga on the turf. They're going to stay there. The 2 in the second at Saratoga. And Del Mar?
8th race today for all my East Coast friends. Post time is at 10:45 at night, but we'll be up and waiting. I love the number 3 horse in here, Vegas Love, a 4-year-old filly from the Phil D'Amato barn. Back on the dirt last time out and actually ran very well. Drops in for 10,000 today. Kazuchi Kimura aboard to ride, 5-1 on the morning line. Boy, this would have been an interesting race, Ralph, if they carried over that Pig 5. It would have been the last leg, and they would have put a ton of money in. Anyway, number 3, Vegas Love, sends you home a winner and sends you to bet a winner in today's 8th and final.
All right, the 8th race at Del Mar, hunch bet for Race Day Las Vegas, Vegas Love. The 3 horse in the 8th race. And Jonathan, you have risked being tarred and feathered by the listeners out there on the East Coast if they have to stay up until the 11 o'clock news and lose a race. So you better have a winner there.
But I'll be up with you.
You better have a winner there. Anyhow, full sheets for Del Mar and Saratoga, right?
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. It was a healthy discussion, that's for sure. And when we come back, Rich Engel will be standing by. Don't go away. And we have a special announcement, too.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and are struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching? This total is really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're landing me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. If you remember, folks, yesterday I was telling you that here at the South Point, Chris Andrews, the director of the sports book here, puts out a sheet of the major football, college football games of the year that you can start betting, and you can start betting it at 10 o'clock this morning here. So, Chris, tell us about it.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris Andrews, the sportsbook director at the South Point Casino. Well, Friday, August 1st, we are opening our games of the year, 10 a.m. Here's the sheets. I put them out on Twitter so you can do your own handicapping or come on in here and you can see what games, make your own numbers. By 10:30, I'll be on Sports by the Book. We'll talk about some of the early moves. We're going to have a lot of great games. Georgia and Texas, USC and Notre Dame, LSU in Alabama. That's another big game. Come on in. We'll be booking these till the season starts right before Labor Day.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. Appreciate that. And, there's a lot of people out there, especially in college, that either went to a college and are a fan of theirs and, an alumni, or certainly their kids are going to some colleges as well. And so those colleges will be represented in the games of the week on that, and you can bet that now on the first day of August for the upcoming college football season, that's for sure. Let's get out to Rich Eng. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Chris Andrews has got that games of the year coming up. You can come here and get a sheet and bet it for the big games that are going to be held, and most of them are traditional games every year in college football.
Yeah, a lot of rivalry games and, in conference games like SEC and ACC and stuff like that. And, what's really advantageous for people who do their homework is that if you have a good feeling about what direction a team is going, you might be able to take advantage of the point spread that Chris puts out. You might say if a line is 7 and you think the game is more of a pick 'em, then you take the points and you sit back and watch the point spread get massaged, Ralph. So it's for those who do a lot of work and have a good idea of who the stronger teams are and who are not.
And not to mention just a nice little novelty for the folks who are alumnus of some of those games. I want just a little bit of action one way or the other, that's for sure. Did you survive the tsunami of long shots yesterday at Del Mar?
I tell you what, Ralph, the horse I gave out on the radio, Kiku Ride, I mean, he ran like a tsunami in the stretch and just got beat ahead by one of the big long shots. But I tell you what, I was watching the broadcast on FanDuel TV, and when Todd Schrupp and I was talking about that last leg, and that the one live ticket had the 14 horse, and then he went off like, as you said, an 8-5 shot. I almost fell out of my chair, Ralph. Unbelievable.
Yes, it was. That's for sure. But now we got the twilight post time at Del Mar, and it'll even here on the West Coast with the 4 o'clock post time for the first race. It's going to be a little late for us who get up early and do these shows, even for us on the West Coast. But Del Mar has a twilight program. You have a full sheet of handicapping for Del Mar right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. And Richie, Jonathan Hardoon gave us a horse in the last race, so he's going to make us stay up as late as possible. What are you doing for us?
Well, I got 2 picks for today, Ralph. I've been giving out one of my simulcast horses as well as a Del Mar horse. My simulcast horse, I went to Colonial Downs, race number 2. It's a mile and the 16th on the main track. Jockey Vincent Chaminade, who you mentioned, is going to be getting a forced vacation from Isa, rides the number 1, a Little Jamie. This horse is taking kind of a subtle class drop if you don't look at the PPs as up real closely. But this horse ran for optional claimer 80 at Churchill and Keeneland, and I was running for optional claimer 50 at Colonial Downs. Believe me, that is a huge drop in class. So let's go with the 1, Little Jamie, in race 2 at Colonial.
All right. No harm, no foul yesterday. Your race didn't go. They canceled the races before we got to your simulcast pick yesterday. So at Colonial Downs, second race today, and that ought to go about 1:30 Pacific time. The 1 horse, Little Jamie, the 1 and the 2nd at Colonial Downs, and now Del Mar.
Opening race is a mile on the turf. I'm going to go for a horse who graduated last time out, the number 2, Time to Shine. This horse won for maiden claiming $35,000, which got the horse eligible to this condition, which is a starter allowance 50. I know the win was on the main track and is going back to the turf, but you kind of get the feeling Mark Latt still believes this horse is better on turf than dirt. So right back to the grass. Number 2, Time to Shine, Antonio Fresu in the first.
All right. So you and Jonathan bookended us in Del Mar. You're gonna get us a winner early in the card in the first race post time at 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. first post. That's the start of the early pick 5, by the way. In the first race, you like the 2, Time to Shine. We hope he does. The 2 in the first. Don't forget, Richie's got the entire handicapping sheet for today at Del Mar at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. Richie, we'll get you to get one of those sheets from Chris Andrews, and maybe you'll give us a thought or two about a game of the year that you like in that sometime next week.
Sounds good. I'll do some homework, Ralph.
You got it, my man. Thanks a lot. We're going to go to our, we're going to blow off the last break because I want to get to John Lindo standing by here in Southern California. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
Did you survive the tsunami of long shots yesterday?
Yeah, I was underwater a little bit there, but we had a good time, and it was just nice to see the odds not fluctuating like we have seen. So if you see perceived value on a win bet less than 2 minutes to post, you can go to the window and play and know you're pretty much going to get the price you're trying to play, and I like that.
And that, of course, is for the win pools only, but now they're shifting that money into the exotic pools, and some of the exactas were hurt by that yesterday.
Ralph, they're not shifting. Those odds changes in the exotic pools have been going on for a while. Nobody's taken notice of it because of everything going on in the win pools. So it may be a little stronger than before, but those odds and those fluctuations in those exotic bets have been going on for a while, and we know it's there. So as you play, you can choose what pools you want to play if it's not something you want to battle. And the one thing at Del Mar, they've got Quinella wagering, which doesn't draw very big pools. They can't get involved there. So if you want to avoid that mess with the exactas, the Quinella could be one way to try it.
Yes, I'm glad you pointed that out. First of all, I was really emphasizing on the drastic shifts, and that drastic shift with a probable $161 coming back, $151 coming back 67 was a drastic. You're right, they do change, but it's a little bit more drastic now. But I'm glad you mentioned the Quinella, because when you look at the results that they post after the races, you'll notice that if the Quinella bet is equal to the $2 Quinella bet is equal to or more than the $1 exacta bet, that is exactly the way you should go, and you can chart that and keep that watching those results. Most of the time, a lot of times, the Quinella bet will bypass, not by much, but the $1 exacta bet, especially if the favorite wins with a horse.
Yeah, if you think the favorite is going to win, and you're playing exacta box, a Quinella might be the way to go because you might get a little bit more value there.
Mm-hmm.
If you think the longer price is going to win of two horses you're playing in an exacta box, exacta is usually a better bet. But again, it's just an option that is not available anywhere else on the circuit. So you kind of maybe monitor and see how those Quinellas are paying as opposed to the exactas, and so that might give you something to play there.
All right, now let's hope that we get back to something normal today when they start the races at 4 o'clock today at Del Mar. You have your Lindo report, of course, that's available here at the South Point every day you publish, and that includes Southern California racing and certainly other selected racetracks on selected days. And your Lindo report for today for Del Mar is available here at the South Point, covering all the races with selections, a suggested late pick 4, and, of course, all the goodie information at the bottom. And, of course, that is all in one comprehensive sheet. It's here at the South Point, only at the South Point here in Las Vegas. And it's free of charge, complimentary to the horse players because they love horse players here at the South Point. One quick note from that goodie information that you supply, and the important information on that is the ship and win horses, because the ship and win horses are doing rather well today so far at Del Mar. So the ship and wins are noted on the Lindo report as well. But John, you noted that there was a claim for a horse yesterday at a big price of $150,000.
Right. The first time started in the second race, the horse that went favored, Mr. AP, ran second, and he got claimed by Vladimir Sarin, $150,000. I haven't looked it up, but that's got to be either tying a record, or I can't remember any horse getting claimed for more money down at Del Mar before.
Well, let's see if that horse comes back and produces for him. In the meantime, we need a pick from you.
I'm going to go to race number 2 today with number 10, Rebel Nation. Trainer Peter Miller ran Dirty Rich yesterday in the second race. He was the second time starting maiden 2-year-old to win for that barn at this meet already. He's obviously given horses a race wherever they were at before and tightened the screws for Del Mar. This is the same story here. Number 10, Rebel Nation, had a race at Los Alamitos. This is a new low level for maiden claimers for 2-year-olds. Drops in class, outside post. If he jumps forward like the rest do, 8-1 on the program is worth the shot. Race number 2, number 10, Rebel Nation, Del Mar.
And that winner yesterday paid $18. Today, an 8-1 shot that you like. It fits the same mold. And the second race, the 10, Rebel Nation. Hey, we got our running Rebels here. Good hunch bet for us Las Vegans. In the second race, the 10, Rebel Nation, is John Lindo's pick off the Lindo report. Get it now here at the South Point free of charge. Thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Good luck today.
All right. Now we go to Jerry Jacovitz standing by. Jerry in his office. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it was a crazy day yesterday at Del Mar, wasn't it?
Yep. I don't know what else to say. That's horse racing, right?
Yes, it is. That's for sure. Today at Saratoga, they stay on the turf. It seems like that muddy track yesterday will probably turn to fast by post time today at Saratoga. And, of course, you got your Jerry J's Power Pages for all of Saratoga and all of Del Mar available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. We'll get started with some picks, Jerry.
Yeah, just one comment.
Sure.
Yeah, they're on the turf today. Thank God they didn't run yesterday on the turf. Otherwise, who knows what would happen.
Okay.
Let's go to Saratoga for our first play today, Ralph.
Right.
We're in the third race. It Takes Heart with Linda Rice's barn. And it just looks kind of good to me. Looks like a miler, handles Saratoga and very well, actually. It looks a little faster than these. And I sometimes like to bet the fastest horse with the best trainer. It's sort of what I got here.
Mm-hmm.
Take the 2, It Takes Heart, over the 1-4-5. Small reverses.
Okay.
The 2 in race number 3.
Linda Rice is using a lot of Kendrick Carmouche, and of course her main guy is Jose Lezcano. Lezcano is on this horse there, and she's doing rather well at Saratoga with a limited amount of horses going up against the big guy, Chad Brown. So in the third race, number 2, It Takes Heart, which is what Linda has. The 2, It Takes Heart, is your play. Link-ups are 1, 4, and 5 in reverse. $2 ROI on the 2 in the third at Saratoga. What about Del Mar?
Yeah, she's pretty consistently winning the 20% clip, which is really good work for a trainer.
Yeah, she does.
All right, let's go over to race number 5. Empress Ellie shows really nicely to me. I really like her today. Just a really good, hard-hitting mare, runs almost every time. Berrios up. I think she's faster than these. It's sort of simple. I make her, maybe 2-1. 5-2 at the bottom. I'll take the 4, Empress Ellie, over the 1, 2, 3, and 6. Reverse them, of course, but it's all about Empress Ellie today.
All right, fifth race, the 4, Empress Ellie. Link-ups are 1, 2, 3, and 6, and reverse. The 4 is the key in the 5th, and of course that is the anchor in the early pick 4 and early pick 5. And again, Jerry's power pages are available for Del Mar and Saratoga right now. And you can see there are anxious people waiting to talk to Jerry. That's for sure. Can't wait. That's for sure, Jerry.
I'm sure it's some sort of crazy scam likely.
Okay, well, just tell them you're not available right now. That's all. So again, in the 5th race, the 4 is the key. The link-ups are 1, 2, 3, and 6, and reverse. Number 4 in the 5th race, Jerry's play. And Jerry, of course, we will be heading into the weekend with your power pages as well. It's been an interesting day and interesting weekend of racing. And let's see if we can get down to some of the variables of normalcy as we go into the twilight card today at Del Mar. In the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow, if the creek don't rise, and God willing, with our Saturday Race Day Las Vegas show. I want to thank all of the chatters chatting away on the chat box today here at the Race Day show. Very interesting conversations about, yes, CAW. In the meantime, Jerry's got one more thing to say for us horse players. Go ahead and say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.